We need to find some of that as Owe gets in the face of Hoffman. Hubbard going a little bit more, though. That's a missed throw downfield. Once again intended for Bateman. Looking like a terrific return here from Curl as he will take it back to the end zone. First and goal, Robinson to make it a 3-score shutout lead. Need to find a touchdown here. We got Faust, and Faust finds ourselves on the board finally. We're about 3 minutes left here, and here's a big play from the defense. We got an in that will end it. Our quarterbacks couldn't deliver a single catchable ball, really. And I'm gonna say single, that's not much of an exaggeration. And coming off such a horrific game from our two backup quarterbacks, there were many calls for us to find replacements. And we were on the phone in the middle of this game because we clearly realized that the quarterbacks we had could not manage. Max Duggan, he's shown signs here and there, but there have been far too many poor games that have outweighed his good. And Matt Corral in his limited time out there, he didn't show any promises whatsoever. So as we start today, we will be cleaning out most of this quarterback room. Bryce Young is the only one sticking around as Max Duggan, our longtime backup, his time has come to an end. No team interested in trading after the performances they have seen. So we will be releasing him and we'll clear up a little bit of cap. And quite obviously, the Matt Corral experiment did not work either. So we will be releasing him. Now for our first move, this will not be for our starting quarterback for today's game, but it will be for some depth. Coming off of our practice squad here, we have Tyrone Fulton, as he also has a development boost. We're going with field general. He's a backup quarterback, not going to be the scheme fit, that is fine. But he's going to get some deep accuracy and some mid, which is going to be pretty good for us. He's been with us for now about season and a half on the practice squad. He's a normal dev quarterback out of Kent State. He's all right across the board. Now, he's not a deep ball thrower. Very much if he's out there, it is a short, maybe a little bit of medium, but even then medium is questionable. It's short accuracy with not a whole lot of throw power. He has a little bit of mobility, but the reason we've brought him up is because his awareness is a 73, which is the second best of all free agent quarterbacks available. So because of that, he is being brought up, now a part of the 53 man. But we need to make one more move, and that's going to be for a starting quarterback, and I dug through every roster, and I think I found a very good fit. Right now, the New York Giants have one of the deepest quarterback rooms. And Zerma, we've played against him several times, and he's a very solid quarterback. Average, sometimes playing slightly above. However, Daniel Jones is sitting here, as well as another young quarterback in Morgan Mobley. Both, similar overalls, solid backup overalls, but Daniel Jones, he has not played in a while. In fact, he hasn't played since the very first season of this series. They immediately replaced him, and he's just been the backup, sitting there doing next to nothing, waiting for his opportunity. And for us, it couldn't come at any better time, as he's in the last year of his contract, only carrying a $1.35 million hit. I don't think there's anyone better for us. Jones will not be creating any sort of controversy when it comes to when Bryce Young comes back. He's a veteran of the league. He could quickly step into our offense. Throw power is the same as Young. Accuracies, they're a step down, but he could still hit a pass on every level. Awareness 66 is nothing fantastic, but he does have the mobility we're used to. This is as good of a find as we're going to find, and it's not going to take a lot to trade for him. Now, if we were to just ask what the Giants want, well, Junior Vernon is someone they have interest in. That's something we could look into. Otherwise, we're going to get into some third round picks, and that's not really something I'm looking to do. There is also Jeremy Crowley. So clearly they need corner. So just like that, we have a player swap. Both are going to get opportunities for starting time. Now, it also helps that Jones very much knows our opponent today. In the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, DeAndre Swift, AJ Brown, plus Devontae Smith, they still have their top best available guys. Get to the offensive line, and it's actually, I would say, slightly better than most of the offensive linemen we've faced recently, but about average. Defensive line, though, that is where the defense shines here for the Eagles. You got Sweat in 89, Taj Gee in 83, and Jalen Carter down the middle, a 93, plus Jordan Davis in 85. On the outside, Nolan Smith Jr., 79, and then opposite side, you got Mike Simmons, second-year player, 81. Off ball, they're very much lacking. So if we could attack the middle, that would probably be our best bet. Get to their secondary, it's also not all too promising. No one above an 80 overall at corner. And Kevin Byard, he has regressed a lot. He's down to a 79, and then you have Mapu, another 79. So the DB group, not great. We're gonna try to play to the outside with our running game, which we'll talk about shortly. But also, if we do any passing right across the middle, should be a good option. But as alluded to with the running game, we will be forced to actually see a rotation today with Ball, with Barry, because Chuba Hubbard dislocated his wrist in practice. He is out. And honestly, that's probably stemming from the last few weeks, us relying so much on Chuba. So in week 5, we face the 4-0 Eagles with a new set of quarterbacks. Bryce Young will be on the sideline trying to help out. 2 backup running backs getting the starting spot. And we're just gonna have to see if we can bounce back from a slow start. We are underway in the city of brotherly love. We are having a lot of rain come down in this one, so it is the perfect mixture. And do not tell me that is Madison Boston injured on the kick off to start the game. Man, even adding to it, I was trying to say it's the perfect mixture for what should be a very interesting game here. New quarterback for us. We got the backup running backs. Now apparently a backup tight end having to step in a little bit more as well. Though at least some early good news out to the right-hand side. Boston is back out there. The reports are muscle cramps. After just one play, he must have not been drinking his water this week. But we've got plenty of it coming down, so he should hydrate quickly. But as we've talked about prior to this game, we expect a lot of runs. Throws, those are going to be short, quick, and if we could find them attacking the middle of this defense, all the better. As Boston was open, bad throw on the run. Hopefully, that's not a sign of what's to come. We're going to need Jones to be able to complete some passes today. 2nd and 10, we go back to Barry down the middle, and great stop as the free safety Byard comes down. We know that Barry is the ground and pound guy. Ball has a little bit more of the athleticism, and he's going to get the start as the 3rd down back today. See how many looks he ends up getting. As it's a throw out to Tyreek Hill, first completion as we bring in Daniel Jones. And of all quarterbacks that were possibly available for us, I feel like he's got to be the best fit. As we go right down the middle, and well, I believe that's actually Lewis Seen playing one of their sub-backers, so they have a safety trying to fill in that weak group, and it worked out pretty well for him. So the first drive under Daniel Jones does not end all too well. Hopefully we see a rebound, though. I'm sure Giants fans, honestly even Eagles fans, probably used to that. As Swift's still here with the Eagles, he picks up 1. We've definitely seen some games with Swift, and he's played very well in them. They have a lot of talent on this offense. We got to do our best to not let wide open plays happen. A.J. Brown still going before Edwards drags him down at the 15. Looked like the DBs on that left-hand side kind of stumbled into each other on the crossing routes. And now we have early movement. Now, is that going to be on Owe or the tight end? Actually, neither. They call it on the left tackle in Brandt. So we'll back them up, loss of 5. Back to the 20 as they go with another pass. Hurts trying to find somewhere to go, and he gets slowed down and dragged down. Ball pops out. Owe is quickly on top of it. Defense forces an early turnover, and credit that fumble to the rookie DT in Bates. Does a great job. McCullough maybe helped out a little bit there as well. Well, that's a pretty good segue to say Bates has earned the full-time starting role as a DT on this team. Grady Jarrett has not done anything since we signed him, and we don't gain anything on first. As mentioned, this front line for the Eagles, that is going to be the struggle point for us, as it was last week against the Commanders. Very evident there. Jamari Sawyer just got tossed to the side. Leaves us 3rd and 13. We got a bunch to the right-hand side, Boston to the left, and we're actually going to wheel out Barry. That might help us get something. Or not. We'll take the sack, and we've got to start working on this offensive line. So unfortunately for the defense, the turnover does not net any points our way, but it kept points off the board. So that is at least still the positive. As the Eagles right back out, and a clutch play there from Newsome. He really had to sky up for that one. Tips it away, and Devontae Smith definitely got the better release. So we might need to be a little bit more cautious with our press coverage. That's holding on the outside for sure. No call, as Hurts will scramble, picking up 7. But definitely, we saw McCullough there in a chokehold, almost a full Nelson by the look of it, as that throw is nearly picked off. But still a great play again there by Newsome, and it's a 3-and-out for the Eagles. But now we're once again faced with this Eagles front 7. And we're going to try a couple different things. One, the rookie Carvey at center. He's out there replacing Jamari Sawyer. We're also going to try and get a little bit of these RPOs going as well. It's the same as if we ran it. So at least there's that. But we got to find ways to move the ball here. We're going to go with another RPO here as they got press. We'll hand this one off. That's going to be to Barry, who will pick up 6. We're just going to need a lot of these short, quick throws. Offensive line has got to hold up as long as possible. We got 2 to the left, 1 to the right. A lot of underneath routes as they look to bring the blitz. But we're just going to roll out here, get a block or no block from Hill, so Jones will just step out. If that's what we've got to have, that is what we will do. We get our first down here, getting close to midfield. We hand it off. Barry going to get by the first group into the secondary and rolling over Lewisine. He will pick up a big first down for us down to the 39. The Eagles defense really is anchored by the defensive line. If we could get by them, plays will be waiting for us. As Jones just looks to pick up the yards left and will get called down prior to the first down. But he'll leave us with a pretty easy second down as we get into the second quarter, as we have -1 passing yards today. I'm not sure what the NFL record is for worst passing game, but who knows? Hopefully we don't find out that we have taken that. As we go with an outside run here, Barry will squeeze out that first down. Now the question I'm posing here is, how aggressive is the defensive line going to be? Can we see screens start to open up? And if they do, will they remain open throughout the game? Good open field tackle there by Scene. Barry picks up another 8. If we can start to gauge that aggressive level, though, from the defensive line, that should help us gauge what we will be able to do. As we go with the screen, good block there. Bateman going to pick up the first down to the 11. We've seen Tyreek miss quite a few blocks, but he picked up 2 with 1 block that time. Gotta love it. He's going to go towards that back right pylon. Got a couple underneath routes sitting yet again, as it's intended for Faust, but missed wildly. And the short accuracy is supposed to be the best part of Daniel Jones' game. We'll see if that resurrects itself. Not an easy game to get stuck back out. Again, he hasn't played in about 4 years. So while we're expecting a lot, we need a lot. 3rd and 8, first down at the 1-yard line. As it's thrown into Bateman, he secures the catch at the 1. Bodied out the linebacker and made a great play. And honestly, gets an answer pretty quick for us on Daniel Jones. Now it's goal line versus goal line. And we need to make sure we get a nice double team over here. We also need to make sure we got our Mike linebacker where it should be. Power versus power. Who's got the better strength? Well, we pick up most of the blocks, but the line didn't move forward. They moved backwards. So let's check into a formation that is more apt for ourselves here, though. It's still a heavy front six, so this ball's got to come out quickly. So with that, I feel like we need to make a play change here. Maybe go with a run to this left-hand side. There's a little bit of a gap. If we could get a double to backer, or no one gets to backer, we lose an additional 2. And I would put my money on it that we're just not going to win the heavy versus heavy set. So we need to change up our game plan here. Boston into the flat might just work here. We'll keep an eye on it. That's where we go. Safety comes in, but does not get the tackle. Boston, with the help of the rain, slides out of the tackle and puts us in front. Now with 3:50 left in the half, I would love to keep us in front here. We need some more plays from our defense, who have been ready so far. Knocking that one out is St. Just. And this defense is on. They're on. They've done really well to start the season. They've just been put in a lot of unfortunate situations, as the tackling there not too good, but again, we're both dealing with the elements. I know during these games we've harped on the defense a little bit, but they've still only allowed, 21 and 20 points in the last 2 games. Great stop in the backfield is Stockton. It's probably just been a overall stress of the offensive situation. Very much has shown how important Bryce Young is to this team, as that throw off the mark by Hurts has not been a good start for him. He is 2 of 6 on his throws, though we have knocked out most of those. Only really 1, maybe 2 misses. As he's rolling, he's meeting the pass rush. We get back there with Owe. And that'll leave us just over 2 minutes to try to find some more points here before halftime. We start with a bunch to the left-hand side. Bateman over to the right. It's press coverage, that right side safety. He's looking eager to come down, so we're going to try to see if we can get over the top. And in fact, he does step, so we loft it out for Bateman. We find him on the run, and we pick up a big play on first down, getting all the way down to the 27. We talked about Jones having the ability, at least, to hit throws on every level. That is a big one we have not gotten the last few games. As we look to go with the halfback screen following it, we got a couple blockers out in front, though the 2 didn't communicate very well on who they were going to get. Will end up only being a short gain of 3, as the clock ticks close to 1.5 minutes left. We go with a draw. Barry cuts to the left-hand side, runs through the safety and picks up the first. 11 rushes for Barry, 45 yards as he checks out. We bring out ball. We're going to look to spread it out here, see if we can get some guys open downfield, or look for the play underneath, or Boston, who was open, though overthrown by a pretty good amount. At least in terms of how many yardage we actually have left here. 2nd and 10, ball stays out. As we go with the it's the draw to him. He will pick up the first down. While obviously not too happy that Chuba Hubbard out, I am liking the ability to see a little bit more from Ball. We come out in the A set here, though, looking for the left-hand side. If we could get that quick slant to Tyreek Hill, going to depend on the drop back, which they don't have. Lofted, diving, and bringing it in. Tyreek Hill extends our lead before halftime, make it 14-0. Now we just need to ensure that our defense locks things down here with 26 seconds left. Eagles do have all of their timeouts. They're starting at the 19. As it opens right across the middle, Brown, he gets by 1, though not going to get by Edwards. But he does pick up a lot of yards in the process. First timeout called by the Eagles. They're now up to the 44. As they'll continue looking to throw the ball, throwing it away this time as McCullough was getting around the blocks. Would love for us to just continue building this pressure we've seen today. Haven't really had much of it the last couple games, so it's nice to see here as it's a well-timed throw. They find, I believe that was Bellinger, picking up a first down for him down to the 38. This might be about field goal range. As they go back to Bellinger, he doesn't hold on to that one. Stockton able to rip it out. Now they still have time for at least one more pop shot towards the end zone. I expect they do look for it, or it's a quick throw in which they'll pick up some yardage. Call that last time out. Now 4 seconds left. Apparently They needed to make sure they got that last little bit of yardage, as this kick is up and the Eagles barely find themselves on the board here as we head into halftime 14-3, and apparently Cash having words with him. But overall, I've got to say, very happy with the first half here for us. Defense, they played extremely well against an offense that has weapons at every single level. And offensively, we're doing very well, considering we're out our MVP on offense, we're out our quarterback, and have two quarterbacks who have not started a game for us or even been in a game prior to. But as we look around the league, Bengals, they're starting to fix their season as well. They started off 0-2. They've won 3 straight now, 24-14 over the Texans. As for the Packers, they are hosting the 49ers, and their season has not gone very well. 0-5, I love to see it. 49ers doing well, 4-1, 28-14, behind a 3-touchdown day for Brock Purdy. As for the rest of the games, you can see here the only one yet to happen is the Jaguars and Jets, which will be Monday night. So take a look at your favorite team's score as we get back to our game. And as we return, it's the Eagles who start on offense, and they could really use a big drive here. They did not manage much of anything that first half, and they will just manage one on play one, which puts Devontae Smith dead even on yards. They haven't ran often, only 3 times for 0 net. 2nd and 9, they changed it up a little bit. They send 2 receivers to the right-hand side, looking to throw the ball and not caught. One of their tight ends had to lay out for it, unfortunately couldn't bring it in, and that is a 5 of 12 start for Hurts, so he is hurting in the passing game. As they drive it underneath, Devontae Smith will just get the first down. It was tight coverage, but able to make the play. Gives them a fresh set at the 36, in which they look to go right back to the passing game. They pick up the blitz, rolling, throwing, caught, gain of 1. Perhaps they're just trying to rebuild the confidence here of Hurts, who just with that throw hit 50% completion on the day. As they look to keep going, they go through the air, across the middle, and pick up the first down. And while you know the dink and dunk style of offense isn't everyone's favorite, if it works, it works, and it's worked against this defense this year. That's where all of the points we have given up have come off of. Not a whole lot of big plays, as Stockton, he saw Hurts looking to run. Keeps it to just 1. That is something that we definitely need to check on, is the overalls for all the position groups, because Stockton has got to be towards the top. As Grady Jarrett checks in, he's shucked off. He's going to celebrate though, but Hodgins, he gets credit for the TFL, or at least in my book, he should. 3rd and 10. Eagles looking to throw the ball downfield on the deep end. It's caught. A.J. Brown just in front of St. Juste, who came crashing back. Still holds the first down after the run. But he's really been the only one for the Eagles today making those big plays. 3 catches, around 75 yards. As they go through the air again, he gets by St. Juste, gets by him again, and St. Juste dives, comes up well empty. A.J. Brown's 4th catch gets their first touchdown. But the Eagles aren't done yet. They want to get this thing back to a field goal game, so 2-point try. As they throw it to the flat, and they will draw it back to 3 as they find Bellinger. 11 points now for the Eagles, as that was the drive they were desperate for. Now as we start our second half on offense, need to answer. Only with that 3-point lead, we go back to the drop, bury down the middle. That's the group we need to attack. And if we can do it by both the ground and the air, all the better. We need multi-dimensions here on offense. As we look to throw the ball, actually, it's going to be tucked in Ryan by Daniel Jones, diving down at the 43. Not really known as the scrambler, but he has plenty of ability for it. Ball checks in here as we have an RPO dialed up, and we will hand it off to him, but he gets picked up, slammed down by Davis. And on a play like that, it's either going to be the left guard or the center that gave it up. Need better from him. As Barry checks back in, Winters, he motions out. We look for the stretch, just try to get to open field, but it's contained. Taj Gee with a great play has us well backed up. 3rd and 16 at the 37. It's a tight group here little bit of some play action. See if we can get someone opening up as we have the diving catch from Bateman. Would have liked it a little bit closer, some catch and run, but I'll take the first down. We've tried setting that play up time and time again the last couple weeks. Haven't thrown a catchable ball. That one barely will count. As Barry goes down the middle, he will pick up 8. Just gotta have that versatility, and so far we've had it today. Knock on wood, fingers crossed, it continues. Looking for the halfback screen here as ball checks in. We need a block from Clifton, which we get. A little juke there will almost get him by the corner. He needed some help. This is definitely a great game to show the versatility of the power backs that we don't often see. Boston down the middle here. Could be nice, though the safeties look to take that play away. As Jones, he's scrambling again. Gonna pick up the first down and out of bounds at the 14. 4 rushes for him, 45 yards. In total, we were looking for a very serviceable backup, and Jones, he seems to be applying that today. Tyree killed to the back pylon, a possibility. Or we let time run and take us to the 4th quarter. A very quick 3rd quarter. Not even a full drive for both sides. But it does provide us the opportunity to change play call, which we will do. They got 3 across the middle. They're expecting a run. So we're going to go with a little bit of some play action then. Try to get something to open up as Daniel Jones, he's just scrambling. We'll go untouched for a gain of 5. And while he has about the same mobility that we had with Duggan, we didn't quite see that kind of play, rolling to your weak side so easily. As Ball had plenty of space, but he stuck too close to the blocks. On what could have very easily been a first down, instead 3rd and 1. We change up the look slightly here. We got a read option dialed up, and just a beautiful play there from Davis. Tajgi crashed down on the running back, so it was the right read there from Daniel Jones. Unfortunately, just a much better play from the interior of the defensive line. As Ford, he'll hit this field goal, putting us up now 6. It's not the most comfortable lead, but in a very defensive game as we've had today, a lead is great. As it's a throw rolled in through the diving hands of Newsome. He honestly seemed to have read that better than the receiver did. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. A lot of routes sitting underneath, though they look to go downfield. St. Just will make up for his inability to spot the ball in the air. He will knock it away from A.J. Brown, bringing up 3rd down. At the 26, they still need 10. They got trips to the right-hand side, Bellinger over to the left. A little bit of some play action, quick throw to Bellinger, and, well, by the look of Edwards, he thought that the brothers was going to get the stop. Instead, it's a touchdown. Eagles take the lead. That's why you can't sit on a play. Always go to the whistle. So now for the first time today, we get to see what this offense can do trailing. We start back at the 25 as we go with a stretch to the right-hand side. Really haven't ran that way today, and we just get back to the line of scrimmage. And I feel like most of our running has either just been right down the field or to the left-hand side. We haven't really tested Sweat today. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that as Faust, he finds some space, ball behind him, but great adjustment. Unfortunately, with all the hits he took on that, he is down. Hopes are it's just a little bit of a stinger and he's able to bounce back up. But 1st and 10 here for us. It's compact, both offense and defense. Look for a little bit of some play action, see if we can open things up downfield. We have Bateman. This time it's put on him with a little bit of some space to run. We flip the field from the 35 to the 32. Just nice to see a quarterback hit an open receiver. Daniel Jones, he's played pretty well today. As we hand this one off to Ball, he's going to pick up about 9 and a half. 4 rushes for him, 21 yards. This is a pretty good example of what the offense would be without Chuba Hubbard. As we go back to Barry here on the stretch, sticks the foot in the ground, gets downfield to the 13. Definitely not seeing as many moves made in open field, but still plenty of good play from the running backs here as we spread wide. Got Boston to that far outside. Going to depend on what the corner and safety decide. And the switch actually takes that play away. Daniel Jones, he rolls, fighting down to the 1. You can tell he wanted the end zone there. But unfortunately stopped just shy. Now surprisingly here first and goal, they're not stacking the line. We might have an opportunity to run the ball, or I just got to stop expecting that we have any chance at that. This Eagles front line just too good. So we change it up. We keep it a heavier set, though we give ourselves a little bit of some space as we throw it into Bateman. It's through his hands. So we'll just try to change up the look entirely then, trying to find something favorable here for us. We got ball out on the Chuba Hubbard screen. See how well this ends up setting up for us as he picks the inside, kept the legs moving. But it is 4th and 1. 2.5 minutes left, we're down a point. It's not exactly what we love to do, but at this point in the game, you've got to take points, especially when it puts you in front, so Ford will do just that. Now we just got to make sure our defense plays their best game here. 2:08 on the clock. All teams have 3 timeouts. We know that they're going to be looking to throw. It's what they've done all game. As Smith finally, he shows up. I feel like maybe that's just his second catch of the game. But it will be good enough to send us to the 2-minute warning with a fresh set of downs here for the Eagles. They're at the 31 now, spreading empty. Quick throw to Bellinger, about a gain of 7. You can tell the defense was hoping to get a quick free rush there, but against the 99 overall quarterback, smartly he gets the ball out extremely quick, and Newsome swats it. He had another opportunity for a pick, but I would much rather him swat it than try to pick it without really getting a good gauge on it, missing and it going for a really big play against us, and tipped away that time. Stockton. Hurts really tried to thread the needle there. And it could really come back to bite him if they can't make the play. 4th and possibly game. They need at least 3 yards for the first down. Everyone sits underneath. They throw deep downfield and they find it to Smith. His 3rd catch of the game. Might be one of the biggest of the game, as they do not call the timeout thereafter. They're sending everyone downfield. Hurts looking to roll, strip it. No, he holds on to it. And honestly, I think we might need to start calling some timeouts here. The Eagles probably in field goal range, which would put them in front by 1. Though they will still look to throw the ball. Hurts instead actually looking to run, and we at least tackle him out of bounds. I thought, but they're letting the clock run. Luckily for us, Eagles call a timeout, but that looked like he was tackled out of bounds. Maybe a knee came down about an inch inbounds as they hand it off. Swift, now an injury for Pete Hagan. Honestly, that all kind of works in our favor because we're not having to call our timeouts. And we're just going to be sending Engage 8 here. If they get a touchdown, I am fine with that. Give us a little bit of some time to try to make a play or force a fumble or field goal even. Keeps things viable, but that all kind of rests on the 3rd and 7 here. You either have to give up the touchdown or you have to force the field goal. The first down is a killer for us as it's Swift to the open side, and it is the first down. We have to let them score. So to me, the easiest way to try to help make sure that we do that is to try to vacate the middle. I'm assuming they run it, and indeed they will. Swift does score. It's kind of what we needed at the moment, but now we need some big plays with no timeouts. And a lot of these plays for us are going to have to go to the sideline, but this is a prime opportunity for Daniel Jones to become a legend. As we start with a tight group here, need to make sure we get our blocks. We find Tyreek Hill, and it's an overthrow. All of that on essentially what was the best possible play for us to start. We need a touchdown here. We got press coverage across the board. 2 high safeties. I really just want ball back to protect. Not looking for checkdowns at this point. As Bateman, he gets a step. A flag is down, and it's an overthrow. But it appears that probably would actually have been for the best, as it was a holding call immediately at the snap. 2nd and 20 now at the 15. We need a touchdown here. A little bit of some late releases. Look for a back shoulder to Bateman. Well, it's thrown out of bounds. So we'll change up the look here. Force the single high safety. For 3rd and long, they drop their coverage back, but we have Bateman, and he's got space. First down and out of bounds. We're not done yet, and that should have been a free extra 15 at the end. But I guess we're playing in Philadelphia. We're not going to get that kind of call. Need something down the middle here. We're also going to send Boston straight. Going to force the safety on the right-hand side to pick and choose. Does he cover Hill or does he not? He does go Hill, so we might have instead maybe a comeback route here from Bateman or off the hands. 4 seconds left. Honestly, if he caught that ball, probably wouldn't have been good for us. Unless he broke the tackle and got into the end zone. That would have been great. 2nd and 10. Everyone headed downfield. Hard count, no free play then for us. Need someone to get a step. It's bump coverage downfield and tipped away. Jones does not become a heroic figure, and we drop our next game. So it's 1-3 to start, but at least the offense looked good. We needed more in the second half, that's for sure. Defensive line gave us fits. And the defense, they ended up kind of giving up a little bit, allowing pretty much all the points for the Eagles. But really, this game was about finding out if we had a quarterback that could really step in. Given the inconsistent injury record of Bryce Young, and I think Daniel Jones very much did that. 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have the early pick, but he bounced back in a major way from it. He had 62% completion. I don't think we've had anything higher than maybe a 45% completion with our backup quarterback. So Daniel Jones, I am very happy with him there. Now, who would have known, maybe if we had Chuba Hubbard, game goes a little bit differently, but I still think Barry did pretty well out there. Ball did well with his carries. It was just a fantastic game from the Eagles defensive line, by far one of the best defensive lines that we've played against, and that is even following the Commanders, who also have a really good defense. They managed their weakness at the off-ball linebacker spot, and altogether they played a winning game. We only managed to score in the 2nd and 4th quarter. Meanwhile, they scored in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and they got better throughout the game. That was something we did not do. But next game, we're going to be completely healthy. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, no crazy practice injuries like Chuba Hubbard's today. But Bryce Young will be back, and we'll finally see this offense at full speed like we saw in week 1 when we absolutely blew out our rivals in the Falcons. So let's look to come back again from early injuries just as we did last year. And to make sure you don't miss it, hit that bell icon in the bottom right or scroll down and hit the sub button. They both do the exact same thing. And definitely make sure you tap that bell icon. That way you are notified of when I post videos or post things to the community tab, as I'm recording this, it would have been yesterday. So today there should be a poll out for you guys to go vote on what the next state-only challenge is, as we only have 3 remaining. So make sure you go vote there and make sure you're back here as we go to the Jets next time with a fully healthy offense. Fingers crossed. Again, practice injuries haven't always been the nicest for us, but we should be mostly healthy, have our quarterback back now with a very promising backup quarterback as well. Season is on the up.